What's that, Rex? 8:30 in the morning here on Cape Cod, and boy, we have a lot of cleaning up to do. This is just one little spot and one little branch, but big branches and even portions of trees came down last night. The storm was all it could be and then some. Gusts past 70 miles per hour there at those anemometers I've been talking about. And more than 4 inches of rain on the Cape, 5 inches toward the canal, 7 inches in Kingston, Massachusetts. My tempest in Wellfleet, Weymouth said we got 5.5, and that matches up with the CocoRa's readings from earlier. And now T-Rex, we have to go down the beach. Jim Cantore asked us to do a look live for the Weather Channel. When Cantore asks you to go to the beach, what do? You go to the beach. Let's go, this way. Yep, beach is right over there. Pulling into Bayview Beach here on the north side of Dennis, one of the most popular beaches, in the world. And last year at this time, it was about 85 degrees and the beach was packed. And weather does what weather wants. Now this year, you don't even have to go down to the beach to get into the water. The parking lot has a few inches of water in it. And we had an overachieving nor'easter last night here on Cape Cod with 5 inches of rain and wind gusts nearly hurricane force. Let's go down, take a look at the beach. I think there's plenty of room on the beach this year. No dogs on the beach. Sorry, T-Rex. I'll be right back. I'm going to go out the door here, down to the beach. I think Jim doesn't need a hit from TK anymore because he did the Chris Lamden. This debris is kind of small. Chris Lamden, Dennis Selectman, been on the Weather Channel a bunch of times.
Hey, Jim. Hey, Weather Channel. How are you guys? We got a lot of rain, man. Perfect weekend for it. It's not like Dennis and Cape Cod's economy runs on the weather, but hey, they're going to shut down the oyster beds.
Oh, man.
People aren't coming down. I had to turn my heat on. I'm wearing a wool hat. So's Tim. I mean, this is not Memorial Day weather.
Oh. Any damage reports in your neighborhood so far this morning?
Lots of flooding. Lots of limbs down. It looks like post-hurricane. Leaves everywhere. So you know what's going to happen? People are going to come down and say, why isn't my yard clean? There's leaves everywhere.
Yeah, right. So that's why you have to work and you can't come live on the Weather Channel for us. But we love that live hit. Thanks, Chris.
Have a great day, guys.
Good to see you.
But
we're here anyway, so we're going to do it. Walk down the dune. That door's swinging wide open. There's the water. The dune has come up over onto the road, which happens a lot in these storms. Some nice sand here. You don't get any better sand than that. Come on down. Grab a bucket. I think that's legal. This is beautiful. Blowing and drifting sand on Cape Cod. There's our walkway. So I have my noise-canceling microphone on. Look at that. Love the waves. Always waves. This house is going to be consumed by a dune. Or not. You just keep shoveling the dune out of the house. And then this was all scoured right here. All right, let's go around the corner. The birds on the beach this morning here on the north side of Cape Cod. A year ago, sunny. This tide goes out about 1/4 mile. And there's a huge beach, but it's high tide right now. So I can barely get between this hard armor protecting the houses and the ocean. That's what happens when you build hard armor. You lose your beach, at least at high tide. So I come here because there is an extreme performance anemometer here. It's called Marivelis Extreme Performance Anemometry. And it measured a wind gust last night to 50 miles an hour here on the north side of Cape Cod. And on the east side, there's another similar Marivelis anemometer in Wellfleet, and that measured a wind gust to 70 miles per hour yesterday. So yes, this had the force of a tropical storm. Chris Lamden said it looked like hurricane aftermath. TK says it looks more like tropical storm aftermath. It almost may have been a hybrid. What do you think, Jim? Because it had some characteristics of like banding precipitation near the center of the developing cyclogenesis yesterday, with the low pressure system getting stronger as it went right across Nantucket and Monomoy, and that's where we had our strongest wind, and thunderstorms lasted more than 90 minutes, and I lost power at my house for 2 hours. That's pretty unusual. The whole thing is unusual, and you saw Russ Murley made a snowman up there in Rangeley, Maine, above 2,000.
And another good batch of snow coming through. 33 degrees. There's my little snowman right there.
So, not quite that storm of 2013 when Whiteface in New York got 34 inches of snow, but certainly a spirit dampener for the chambers of commerce here in southeastern New England, as this is the unofficial kickoff to summertime And I'm not putting my toes in the water without boots on them right now. So this is a pretty sad situation. For that. Quite a hit. Fun as a weather watcher, but not fun if you're trying to run a restaurant. And if you do come to Dennis, come on down. The restaurants are open. Try the ribeye and seafood stew at Sundancers on Bass River, my hometown. Reporting for the Weather Channel, out the door, weather and more, meteorologist Tim Kelly in Dennis. So I may or may not be on the Weather Channel today. I don't have cable, but I do have a smart TV. And there's the Cog Railway time lapse. It's snowing on top of Mount Washington this morning. Here we are 3 hours later. And T-Rex and I have been to the beach, and we did a live for the Weather Channel, which may or may not be on the Weather Channel today. I think I might have been upstaged by Chris Lamden. You know Chris Lamden. He was shot to fame here from Dennis. He was on the season 6 of The Bachelorette. He was runner-up on that season 15 years ago this week. This morning he was mowing his Aunt Mary's lawn right down there. So he's a man of all trades, a judge on HGTV. So great running into you, Chris. Thanks for that update. And I understand, Jim, if you don't get me on the Weather Channel, it's the weekend. Let's have a weekend. What are we doing? Well, we've already been to the beach, T-Rex, and now let's go to the mountains. This is surf ski weather. Jason McPherson just shared this with me of somebody that hiked up to North Ridge at Killington and made some turns on the white grass there at Killington. But you want to see where there's some real snow? The top of the Skyline chair at Sugarloaf. It was snowing this morning. What's the Lone Star State flag doing flying in the snow in New England at the top of Sugarloaf here on Memorial Day weekend? That is something else. And so I'm sure there are some hikers going on. And, of course, the summit of Mount Washington, the king of our summits this morning, 23 degrees, as cold as it's been all week. And the wind is only 9 miles per hour on Mount Washington. An eye of an upper level low going over Mount Washington with 4 inches of snow in the last 24 hours. And Vec tells me that there's been a foot of snow in the lee side where the wind has been blowing it in, but the wind is coming all around. So there are some turns to be made if you're into hiking and snow skiing on Memorial Day weekend in New England. And T-Rex, we're going to just stay here by the shore and try and get this forecast done. We've been all over the place, and I think I'm okay from the wind. It's been kind of intermittent light rain this morning. The satellite image, tremendous. Look at this swirl from the view from 21,000 miles up from the Goes East satellite. You can really make out this cyclone over the Gulf of Maine. It's kind of stalled over Penobscot Bay, and it's deep into about 995 millibars, and now it's going to start to weaken. So it was cyclogenesis that came right over Cape Cod last night. And here is the surface analysis this morning with a 994 low, and the radar shows the bands of rain and elevation snow. Russ Murley made a snowman in Rangeley this morning, but the snow level has been pretty high for accumulating snow, mostly above about 2,500 feet. But he said there was some snow on the golf course in Rangeley this morning. So what's next? Here's the Boston 10-day meteogram, and it's still pretty pessimistic for the next 24 hours. You know, we have not had a dry weekend in New England since February 22 and 23. It does brighten and the rain goes away for the most part in southern New England, but it stays rather gray and chilly, near 50 today again, and in the lower 50s tomorrow, in the mid 50s Sunday. The sun is trying to come out Sunday afternoon, and Monday, of course, looks better. And then some wholesale changes to the forecast next week. That potential Wednesday nor'easter, according to the GFS and the Euro, may miss us to the south. Very low confidence forecast after this weekend. So you make do. Yeah, the sky is trying to brighten here, but it's so unstable. Any sunshine causes heating, causes rising, causes a new cloud. So if you do get the sun for a minute, you're sure to have a cloud and maybe a sprinkle a few minutes later, and then maybe a little bit more sunshine. That is the nature of these early April showers, or it's more like March here on May, what are we at? May 23rd. Oh yes, tomorrow is William Albert Kelly's birthday on May 24th. T-Rex's birthday is on May 26th. And there are so many graduations and so many things going on here Memorial Day weekend. Let's do the weather forecast with the GFS from pivotalweather.com. It initializes last night at 2 a.m. with a 995 millibar low on the coast of Maine, which is in no hurry to exit. It's captured underneath an upper level low that explains the wind less than 10 miles an hour in Mount Washington this morning. And so it's very unstable, and that low wobbles and weakens, and it's still bringing us scattered instability showers, especially northern New England tomorrow. Maybe dry, especially in parts of southern New England. The farther you get from that upper low, Connecticut probably has the best weather this weekend. And then it goes away, of course, on Monday. It's looking pretty good. Memorial Day Monday. Temperature should rebound into the 60s. And then here is where the GFS has really gone off the rails for next week. That system coming out of the middle of the nation, more severe weather in the middle of the nation, is forecast to miss us off to the south now over Wednesday into Thursday. But you see some green specks in New England, and it shows high pressure. But note the thickness is only 552, so that's very unstable. April-like showers if that nor'easter misses us to the south on Wednesday. It is very inconsistent. And then Thursday, it looks like it's same thing, chance of a shower, and then more big weather coming across the central plains into the southeastern United States, and a cold front aimed at us next Friday night. And here we go, next Saturday now, the last day of May. And it shows showers here on Saturday, next Saturday. Again, this is very different because the thickness, which yesterday showed 564, is now at 552. So it's a much cooler air mass, and it's a complete 180-degree change from what the GFS had yesterday. And this is now Sunday. So the 10-day now goes out to Sunday, June 1st at 8 p.m. And look at that. We have another fairly weak but low-pressure system over the Gulf of Maine. Once again, a little bit like today, but a lot weaker. And the 546 thickness is that little red circle south of Block Island. That is incredibly unstable. More April-like weather to start the first day of June next weekend. So don't put any faith in that Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday forecast, other than it looks like it's going to be cool. And over the middle of the nation, where yesterday it had a 556 cutoff low over Missouri, now it's 570 to 576 heights, and that's much warmer. So that's a complete change. In other words, the GFS does not know what's going on. The Greenland block is forecast to weaken, so it's going to be a change in the weather pattern. And there was more snow. I didn't show it there. I didn't slow it down, but I saw more snow in Idaho next week. So cold air is just relentless. T-Rex, what are you moaning about over here? I think that's the end of the weather part for today. We're already past, I don't know, what was that intro, about 4 minutes. And Rex had to stay in the car, but he stayed home yesterday while Charlie Orloff and I chased. So the and more, we're going to rewind to yesterday. And it was so fun. Charlie and I have been chasing weather together for decades. And a longtime friend and the executive director at the Blue Hill Observatory in his last year of service for us there. But we are weather geeks, and we went, and he took some pictures of me climbing the dune there next to Wellfleet at the Extreme Performance Anemometer there in Wellfleet. And so we did that run around Wellfleet and had a little bit of a pub crawl. We went to Land Ho, and we went to the library in Orleans and in Wellfleet. And then I came home to thunderstorms here, which is a complete surprise. And my rain bucket runneth over. A lot of cleaning up to do around here. About 4 inches of rain here yesterday. So a definite overachiever. And so now let's rewind to yesterday's weather and more from yesterday. See if you can see me on the Weather Channel today. T-Rex. We don't have cable, so we can't see it. But you might be on the Weather Channel. He said, give me more T-Rex. He doesn't care about TK. All right. And more from yesterday. 9:30. Just beginning to edit. Other things have been going on, and it's just begun to rain. So 9:30 a.m. start time. Charlie and I are going to go to the National Seashore. All right, it's just approaching 11 o'clock. T-Rex, you want to come outside for a second? The fat raindrops have arrived. So 11 a.m. start time for the steady precipitation. And we've got some visitors today. T-Rex, say hello to Chuck, working out in the rain. Is he working out in the rain? Did they say it was going to rain this hard?
Rain.
We got puddles. Oh, yeah, right. Hydrometeors. That's right. And we're getting some new... Oh, yeah. Look at that shiny brass. T-Rex, what's he doing? What? You don't like this weather?
Hey, buddy.
Yeah. So we're going to wash the pollen away and We've got Charles working over here, and I'm going with another Charles to the National Seashore. Road trip. Oh, look at this. We got the official Blue Hill Observatory vehicle. Bass River Beauty, Blue Hill. What's our next stop? I don't know, National Seashore? What's that?
Good morning.
You're carrying, what's that, an anemometer?
It is.
Does it read from the top of the car?
Absolutely.
Extreme Performance Anemometry. Rhododendron Week.
You have your garden in? I didn't see anything.
And then look at this, the rinse cycle. Look at that puddle. It's got a yellow ring around it right there. And I think that's the oak or pine both combined. Hey, Kathy. We're going to the Wellfleet. Kathy's got a place up in Wellfleet too, I think. It's back when NECN was good. Can't go storm chasing on an empty stomach. Land ho. Oh my God. Marconi Beach doesn't even have a sign anymore. They don't want people to go there. 500 when everyone goes down and looks at all the surf breaks and you go round and round. So you can pull into the left of that Jeep and we'll look right down at the water. Strictly Sinatra.
Oh,
Yep.
it's a nice sea.
Keep going all the way up to that fence. Block the air view. Because I want to look out the window.
Wow.
There's some balls out there. I see a ball. This is shark territory. 2 o'clock in the afternoon. The wind is just ramping up. We get some pretty steady rain. And the gulls are pointed into the wind. And the Count's Hollow. First stop, the Wellfleet 500.
What's the next stop?
White Crest. Yep. Stop number 2 on the Wellfleet 500, White Crest Beach. And we got front row right there. You can just pull right in, straight ahead, point it in that direction, just like that.
You want to be good today? Sinking out
What'd you
there.
say? You want to go sailing today? What? I think he said those poor bastards out there sailing. Yeah, they're supposed to bring their boats in for Fagawi this week, today, right? White Crest, same as LeCounte's. Shocking. What if the coma is open? If the beach coma is open? Hey, do you know if the coma is open? We have an anemometer, miles per hour. It's probably the miles per hour we're going.
Exactly.
It's pretty close to opening day. Yep, there are cars in the parking lot. Cahoon Hollow. Most people know it as the beachcomber.
Why would it be open on a Thursday?
That's the house we stayed at for my birthday last year, right there. It's Memorial Day weekend.
I know.
Can't you tell? See the tents up and everything? It's gorgeous. Just go all the way down to the sand.
Yeah.
It's kind of illegal now. No, it's not. No, it's not. Not yet, anyway. Maybe later. They're working in there, getting ready. All right, we're going out the door. We've got some wind. It looks like it's sustained around 20-23 right here on the bluff, but the real anemometer is up on the hill. So let's go out the door and check the Maripam Paul Marabellis Extreme Performance Anemometry. This is a scientific project. This mouse house is a rockin', don't come a knockin'. All right, we're gonna have to get sandy. This hand's going down in the sand. Don't walk on the dunes, they say. How about if I crawl on the dune? Because that's the only way I'm getting up here. I don't have the best footing. Here we go. Marker. It's looking a little crooked. I'm gonna have to fix that. Up the hill. It's a wild cranberry. Some other vine. What's that? Blueberry? Almost there. Kind of a hike. Huffing and puffing. Here we are. Hey, Paul. Looks like it's holding on strong. You want me to reset the timestamp in there? Wellfleet Station. 89 feet above main sea level.
Yeah, it's Tim Kelly reporting live from Wellfleet. Yeah, you can't hear me, can you? Why am I wearing this hat? Why is that hat? No problem. Beautiful day.
Can you hear me now? It's gotta be at least 35 sustained. Ramp it up quickly. About 2:15 p.m.
Oh, that's funny. It's really moving a lot faster than it was. The raw bar's looking good down there at the beachcomber. Beautiful day.
The rain kind of feels like sleet up here. Beachcomber, I think it's good today.
Blueberries! See the blueberries? It's almost blueberry season. Clean off your lens.
Chaos at sea.
Hey, look! Our house got new shingles! Do it! Can you make it see this weekend?
And the final stop in the Wellfleet 500 is Newcomb Hollow Beach. Not too many people here. We might be able to go right up to the front row. Sugarloaf in the house.
Stairs still there though?
There's never been stairs here. Birds, come on, birds. They can do it. We can do it. All right, what do we got here? It says 25:30. I'm going down to the water. For my next stupid human trick, let's see how far out into the ocean I can get before I'm sucked out. Ready? Out the door for more weather. More. No problem facing towards the west. Full. This one's a good one. Like Benjamin Franklin said, beer, proof that God loves man and wants him to be happy. I found one on the beach today. They're just washing ashore. This is the famous Budweiser beer. We know of no other beer brewed by any brewer that costs so much to brew and age. Our exclusive beach staging produces a taste, smoothness, and a drinkability combined in no other beer at any price. Measure the wind too. Carry in, carry out. Bring that with me. The ocean gives and the ocean takes away. The ocean just gave me a beer and I give it immense respect and awe. And you gotta know your limits. And this is my limit right here.
Laugh and go!
Extreme performance anemometry. Hey Charlie, any chance I could get a ride home with you?
What's it worth to you? How about a beer?
Budweiser beer for you.
Okay.
It's so funny. That thing's moving around. It looks like it's stationary. That's the frame right up the camera. Doris Day. Going by Uncle Tim's Bridge. Mac's Shack. Used to have some friends in this town a long time ago. I don't know where they went. Miss you guys. Now we're on the bay side in Wellfleet Harbor. It looks a lot more quiet here. Maybe we'll go to some place called the Bomb Shelter. To the left. go up to the Pearl, which is fun. They get entertainment. And then this is the bomb shelter, bookstore, restaurants, and bomb shelter pub. Keep going. Can't tell if it's open. Yep, it's open.
You sure?
Yes, I'm positive.
You sure?
Take a right.
Doesn't look very.
Oh yeah. I think the heavy stuff's coming in for a while. Back to the Mid-Cape. Thanks, that was fun. See you when the sun comes back.
Put it on your tombstone.
That's a big lobster. Fine. Well, right by Uncle Tim's Bridge. Let's go for a walk on Uncle Tim's Bridge. Maybe later, he says. Not today. Hey, Dennis McCoy, where are you? A wave is starting to come over the bow, even on Route 6.
Looking like a real sailor.
Look at that over there. Oh my goodness. Otherwise known as Suicide Alley. Not quite flash flooding, but pretty close. Well, the crowds are coming regardless. You know, you got this plan to come to Cape Cod for the unofficial kickoff to summer, so bring it. Go to the restaurants, go to the stores, spend your money. Thank you very much. Hope your rent wasn't too high for the weekend. There's no weather refund. Charlie's driving us right into Bass River. The waves are a little smaller here though. But look at that whipping rain, huh? That was something coming down. The puddles are so deep. So this is my stomping grounds when I was a little kid. And you were well, you weren't the principal at my school. You were at
No, was it the other one?
Mattakey's, and I was at Ezra Baker. I heard some fun stories about principals when I was little, but I'm not going to tell those stories right now.
The Morley.
Walter Morley. So I used to have these dreams about Mr. Morley. He was a cloud, and he used to come walking across the pond. So I dreamt about school and weather when I was a little kid. And I know you got Mr. Morley stories, but we'll spare the crowd those.
I told you about it. How
Yeah.
you eat lunch.
Yeah. And that's how about out the window now. The rain looks like it stopped. Is it over? I don't know. I haven't looked at the radar. This bunny rabbit is just loving life. I got to talk a little louder. T-Rex is over there. Did you enjoy your afternoon, T-Rex? All right, didn't expect that. Just now, what is it, 5:34, just had a tremendous lightning discharge, thunder in South Dennis. We just had a lull, so we're getting sort of the outer bands. You can see my neighbor, hear it a little bit. My neighbor's got the fire stoked. Wow, that was almost a little scary. It was very close. So we've got thunder along with this nor'easter. A few minutes later, now close to 6, and we're getting these bands of really intense precipitation. I got my rain gear back on so I can go out. I just got T-Rex back from Angela, and he did not want to come out at all. So we're getting almost like in a tropical storm when the air comes down in bursts. So, you know, up in the sky, we've had some wind gusts to 71 miles per hour in Wellfleet, so that's right over our head. And so those mix down occasionally. We've had some sideways rain, some thunder. Real exciting. If this was winter, we would be getting thunder snow. Maybe Jim Cantore would be here. But I didn't really expect the thunder, but I guess we have cyclogenesis. It's the Miller B nor'easter with the redevelopment. The primary went up into western Pennsylvania. The redevelopment's happening right over the water just south of Nantucket right now. If I stayed here long enough, you'd probably see some stuff coming out of the trees. So there are some small twigs and some stuff coming down from the trees right now, but I can't just stand out here and make a video. So why don't I maybe wrap it up for the day? Oh, we just had a little leaf come down, and show some time lapse. Away from Cape Cod and the islands, I don't think it's that much of a storm, but down here it's all it can be. So that gust to 70, and we're not done with it yet in Wellfleet. Thank you, Paul Maravellis, for sharing all this data, and e-weather showing me the lightning image from just a few minutes ago. And I've got water in my phone. I can't really recharge it, so this has to be the end of, well, at least the daylight part of my taping today. You know, very fun storm chase day. Can't believe I found a Budweiser beer just sitting there on the shore in Wellfleet, but that's how it works. Oh, lightning. Stand by. And a bird singing. More and more and more. Can't just keep doing this all night long. Although I'm tempted. Another long one. And like Dennis McCoy says, weather chases me as much as I chase weather. Looking over at that tower on White's Path in Yarmouth. We used to have a completely dark horizon. When they first put that up, it was a steady bright red. At least now it's a blinking white, a little better. And I probably have water in my microphone too, so you might not even be able to hear me. And see how it's just lit up now? So it comes down in waves, but over our head it's sustained at 70 to 80 miles per hour. So all it can be. That rain bucket turned into a water bucket. I mean a pollen bucket. So all this has just come down. This was swept clean this morning or yesterday. Tiny branches for now. But the bridal wreath looks like almost like it's hiding, doesn't it? Stop this. Somebody stop this. What we can do. Weather being weather. More and more and more. I have a feeling I'm going to add more still. Maybe I'll just sit here and roll until my camera dies. Thunder roars. Weather geeks go outdoors. This view off to the west, when I was a little kid, the thunder would come in from that direction generally, and I was scared to death of it. I would go inside and hide in my parents' bed under the covers. True story. Right here. In the wind. Good for now. Maybe. Maybe not. Phone's about to die anyway. For some reason the power is still on in West Dennis, out in South Dennis, so I came over here for the good stuff. Got the juice. Thanks for recharging my phone. 8:45 p.m. here on the south side of Cape Cod. This is West Dennis going into South Dennis. We got top of a maple across the street right here. So wind damage. Pretty much just right on Mayfair Road that I lost electricity. Thought it might have been lightning, but looks like it might be tree damage. You guys. Watch out for the pond here.